Tammy, I'm going to ask you in a little bit for some closing thoughts for our audience here this evening, but I do want to again help mention where people can find you. And Tammy Newman has been my guest, certified dementia practitioner, has been in the long-term healthcare industry for 15 years. And you can find her on Blog Talk Radio at blogtalkradio.com/conversations and care. And they're on Twitter at Care Radio. But again, I did want to mention this virtual roundtable discussion, Sunday, May 18 at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, Conversations in Dementia Care. And it is free. You just have to register at conversations-in-care.com. You can get all the information over there. I'm very excited to be a part of that. And you just heard her share her story about being caregiver to her son with type 1 diabetes. So, Tammy, as we close up the show here this evening, thank you so much for being on. What closing thoughts do you have from our audience this evening about dementia or long-term care or being a parent to a child with a chronic disease? What do you have for us to close things up tonight, Tammy?
That's a really great question, and and I'm very thankful that you were kind enough to let me be on the show, and I'm very excited to have you on the roundtable as well. And I think maybe my biggest word at this point in time would be education, and I think that goes for whatever it is that you're facing. And, and obviously right now I'm talking about dementia and diabetes, and that's one of the things I think sometimes we're very fearful of something, and I think until we get ourselves educated and know what's going to happen or what's in the future, or to understand the process of a disease, or looking at how can we manage some of the symptoms, how can we still communicate and have some great interactions, or, even things in regards to diabetes, understanding how to manage that on a day-to-day basis. And I think education is a key, and I think that goes for, any other autoimmune or chronic disease, or even being diagnosed with cancer. That's my platform, is education, making sure that you're out there. And I think the other piece of that puzzle is really finding a way to support yourself, whether it's being able to find that support in an online community through social media, or whether it's, in person finding that support, or, making sure you have friends and places or family that can really help you out. And I have to, and I just want to kind of go back to the concept of social media, and I know that's something that you talk a lot about. And I think one of the greatest things that I love about the diabetes online community is that there's ways for people to connect wherever they're comfortable. So if they're most comfortable in just listening to a radio program about something, or if they're more comfortable about being on a Twitter chat where they can talk to someone, or they can call into a show, or they can just read something, wherever they're comfortable, they're able to really connect in some way. And I think that's what's amazing about the internet today and with social media, that you can take it at your pace and you can connect in the way that is most beneficial to you. So, I encourage people to go out there and, Google something, and it'll be amazing to see what you can find out there.
It's hard to believe that it's been like almost an hour that we've been chatting, and I know, and we talked before the show that being a host and being a guest are two totally different things, and
Yes.
you did a great job here tonight. And you said you've been trying to get into interviews. How'd you think things went here tonight?
I thought it went really well. I was a little nervous because I'm very used to being on your side of the table and asking those questions and, controlling things. And, I didn't have much control over what was happening other than, being on my toes to answer your questions. So And maybe that begs to question if I have some control issues, but, that's for another show on another day.
Oh, that's funny. And yeah, I mean, if I'm happy to come on your show. You can turn the tables on me, and you could do the same thing. That would be fun to do. And there's something that you said in your closing that I should probably bring you back to talk about. Like self-care. Self-care for parents, or for professionals, for practitioners, for anybody who is doing this. I think that's something that we need to talk more about, because we're so focused on our loved ones, or on patients, or on clients, and I think we should really talk about self-care more, and I think that's kind of a taboo subject, but I think it needs to be brought out more.
I would agree with you, and I'm just going to make one more quick statement, because there was some research done in regards to a well spouse taking care of a sick spouse, specifically when it comes to Alzheimer's, and 60% of the well spouses end up passing away before the sick spouse, just purely because they're not taking care of themselves.
Yeah.
They're putting all that time into taking care of the sick spouse. So I think there's a lot to be said in that research, that we really need to figure out how we can, whether it's supporting someone or supporting ourselves in this journey of caregiving.
I mentioned all your links. Did I miss anything? Is there any other way that people can reach out and contact you, get more information, or anything like that?
I think you've covered them all. If somebody wants to contact me directly, they can definitely send me an email, and it's Tammy, which is spelled TAMI, at conversations-in-care.com.
All right, kids. So I will have a short commentary right after this break here, just to update you what's been going on with me here. So we'll be right back here on the Mike Sevilla Radio program right after this. And welcome back to the Mike Sevilla Radio program on a Thursday night here on the Blog Talk Radio Network. drmikesevilla.com. So just kind of my closing thoughts here this evening. That was just a great conversation with Tammy, and that's something that I really miss from this show. Just trying to, just like her show says, conversations in care, trying to have conversations out there with people. And when people talk to me about the podcast, talk to me about the show, that's something that they really enjoy. And that's something that I have to really get back to doing. I do like doing, like nice long monologues about stuff. But I really have to really try to get back to doing that. And people who've seen the website, my Twitter feed, they've seen, or you guys have seen out there that I've been to a lot of family medicine meetings, family medicine advocacy meetings, talking with people. And that's something that I really want to bring to all of you here on the podcast. So I'm really going to try to, make an effort, just like Tammy said, to be more regular in the production of this show, in the production of this podcast. And I already have people in mind that I want to interview, not just in the family medicine community. I've made a lot of good friends recently in other communities out there. Yes, there are other communities out there in the social media, especially in the mental health community, and other communities out there, advocacy communities. And that's something I really miss about this show, is to talk with people and to share that with all of you, because I think all of you would really benefit from that as well. And I've been really energized with my recent family medicine meetings and talking with people, and getting them angry, getting them upset, getting them inspired to do stuff. And I have some plans. I have some plans in my head about how to kind of resurrect the show. I have had 300 episodes, but I've been doing like one a month. So I do have some plans in my head. But it does take time. It does take time for me to kind of block that out and to try to reorganize everything to do that. But I really miss this. I really miss the conversation. I really miss interviewing people. And people say that maybe I'm a good interviewer, or that I talk to people or whatever. But I'm a family doc. We're supposed to talk to people. That's kind of cool, isn't it? But again, I want to thank everybody again for your support of the show, your support of the website and Twitter, and I'm doing a lot of Twitter chats recently. So thanks all of you for your continued support of me and my social media projects, and I want to do more for you. I want to do share more of what I can do out there in social media to talk about things like advocacy, things like patient education, things like whatever. So this is fun. This is fun. It reminded me how fun this podcast is. So thanks everybody again for all that you do to support me and my social media projects. And I try to pay it forward and try to support all of you as well. So that ends my show here this evening. So thanks everybody for joining me again. Thanks to my guest for the chat here this evening. My name is Mike Sevilla. You can check me out at drmikesevilla.com, and that gives you all of my links out there on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and Pinterest, which I don't use, but all that stuff out there. So have a good week, have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you all very soon. Good night, everybody.